Good evening, everyone. Honorable Chief Minister Maharashtra, dynamic and visionary leader Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji. Honorable MOS for Civil Aviation, my colleague in the Council of Ministers, Government of India, Shri Murlidhar Mohol ji. Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Gujarat, Shri Balvantsinh Rajput ji. Honorable Minister for Tourism and IT from Goa, Shri Rohan Khaunte ji. Honorable Minister for Transport and School Education and representative of Honorable Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Uday Pratap ji, and Secretary Civil Aviation Samir Kumar Sinha ji, and our Airport Authority of India Chairman Vipin Kumar ji, DG DGCA Faiz Kidwai ji, and all the officials from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, all the dignitaries who are present here, stakeholders and passionate people from the civil aviation industry and the industry partners, I once again warm welcome to each and every one of you for participating in this esteemed conference. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the states and industry partners for a successful conference with constructive and outcome-driven engagements. And I have to share with you today, this was an idea which was sitting with me for a long time. Since last year, since I've taken up the charge as Minister for Civil Aviation, and I've seen that on numerous times, whenever a Chief Minister or especially from Minister of Civil Aviation handling in the state has come to Delhi, he has made sure that he has come to my office and has seen me. I've seen on numerous occasions that they have come on multiple times also. And the reason being the states are taking the civil aviation industry and the civil aviation department very, very seriously. In the last 10 years, after Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has taken charge of the country, the kind of growth that we have seen in India has been unprecedented and unmatched by any other country in the whole world. And taking that one step forward, the states have also become very proactive. And they have taken multiple decisions at the state level, and they have come to our ministry and have met me in settling and solving or creating new ideas which will take the civil aviation forward. And I have observed this for quite few months, and I have seen that sometimes when the chief ministers or the ministers coming to Delhi, they come with little less luggage. Because they feel that if we dump everything in Delhi, we don't know which one they'll take seriously, and they kind of tell us only the most important issues. But the way I see it, even if it is a big issue or a small issue, every issue is very, very important when it comes to civil aviation. Then I decided, we at the ministry decided that it is time that we should not let the chief ministers or the ministers come to Delhi and meet us. We should go on the road, we should go to the states, and we should make them feel important, and we meet them and see them in their own states. So with this idea, we have created the regional conference of ministers for civil aviation across the country. And the first one was done in Uttarakhand, Dehradun, and we have invited all the northern conference states there. Wonderful conference where all the states were extremely happy and delighted that so much importance was given to them in listening to their issues. So once we did that, this was actually planned much before Uttarakhand only, but due to unforeseen circumstances and cabinet meeting also planned on the same day, we couldn't have it. But today we are having it here in Mumbai, and I'm extremely delighted and very, very excited to see the kind of participation that has been shown here. The moment I came to the hotel to attend the conference, all our officers came very excitedly and happily were sharing that the house was full. The room was jam-packed and there were people overflowing. So once again, I would like to thank all the people who have shown this kind of interest also. And I believe that one-on-one interactions today have not only strengthened our mutual understanding, but also paved the way for actionable and very state-specific aviation strategies. And today I have to also mention my special gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, for gracing this plenary session. His presence adds a tremendous value to the civil aviation platform and especially this meeting. And you know that right now there is the assembly also which is running in the Maharashtra state. And you see when the assembly is running, the chief minister is the most wanted person. And if you look at him, he will feel that 24 hours is also not enough when the session is running. But the existing 24 hours, he has taken time to come here to ensure that that support which is required for civil aviation is being provided. So special thanks to him from the entire civil aviation community for gracing this occasion. And under his visionary leadership, Maharashtra is witnessing a renewed momentum in infrastructure expansion, regional connectivity, and investment facilitation. With 3 international and 8 domestic airports and 7 major infrastructure projects, including the upcoming Navi Mumbai International Airport and the new Pune Greenfield Airport also. Maharashtra with the double engine support, the double engine Sarkar of Fadnavis ji, And also Mohol ji is also there, who happens to be from the state of Maharashtra, is laying the foundation for a future-ready aviation ecosystem. In fact, I wanted to be present in this session right from the beginning itself, but I had some other commitments in Delhi, so I had to come a little late. But I had the confidence that Murlidhar Mohol ji, my colleague, is also here, and he comes from the state, and he's a very able leader with a very positive outlook. So he would be handling the entire session, and very happy to see and hear from the ministers that they were all heard, all their issues have been written. And now I would say that entire western region where we are having the conference this time, with these all big states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat also present, and Goa, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. And this entire western region resonates with India's rapid civil aviation growth. It has emerged as a strategic aviation hub owing to its robust industrial base, connectivity to global trade routes, and a well-established airport infrastructure. And in the last few months, the region has hosted two major milestone aviation events. The 7th Helicopter and Small Aircraft Summit, which was recently held in Pune, with participation from 20 states, reinforced our commitment to building last mile and intrastate connectivity through rotary and small aircraft solutions. This is a market which is continuously growing, and I see a lot of faces here who come from this specific segment, which is the small aircraft and the rotary wing, which is the helicopter segment. And the second event that we had, which is also a very important one for civil aviation, is the India Aircraft Leasing and Financing Summit in Gift City in Gujarat, brought together over 300 stakeholders from across the globe. Not only within the country, from across the globe, there were people who were there, signaling India's serious entry into the aircraft leasing and financing domain. The main issue that we have, because a lot of people would have discussed already, is the connectivity that we see today. In terms of airports, we have huge number of airports in the country, to the tune of 162. And to connect these airports now has become a challenge. Tier 2 cities, Tier 3 cities, they want to travel just like any other city today. The aspirations of the average Indian has grown after the Prime Ministership of Narendra Modi ji, जिन्होंने एक सपना देखा था कि हवाई चप्पल से हवाई जहाज का सफर, उसको अगर किसी ने सच किया तो वो है हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी जी. And now to bring in more aircrafts into the country, the most easiest and the most facilitating way is the leasing industry. And we have seen that there were some problems within the leasing industry. So we made a special act in the parliament, we brought it to the parliament, and then we passed it in the parliament, and now we are seeing the leasing costs in the country reduce up to 10 to 15%, which is ultimately going to benefit more aircrafts and more aircraft fleet developing in the country. So with 80% of our commercial fleet currently on lease, Gift City unlocks a 5 billion opportunity for entire Indian aviation annually. The future, I believe, we built on strong partnerships, shared responsibilities, and a unified vision, which has been set forward by our Honorable Prime Minister, which is Viksit Bharat 2047. And I would like to introduce this Viksit Bharat to all of you, not as a political campaign, but as a common campaign for each and 140 billion people of this country. It is a target, it is a goal, it is a dream for all these 140 billion people collectively, where we unify all our energies, where we synchronize all our energies into building a developed India by the year 2047. And one of the most powerful springboards to propel us towards that vision is civil aviation. Aviation is no longer just a mean modes of transport, it is a driver of transformation. Airports have emerged as the new age nucleus of economic activity. Whenever an airport comes up, we see that growth follows there. Infrastructure improves, highways, metro lines, and roads are getting expanded when the airport comes there. Hotels, real estate spaces, housing projects, industrial clusters, local tourism activity, agricultural productivity because of cargo. You mention it. Any industry that you see, the moment you say that the airport is coming there, suddenly everything gets boosted up. And that is the power civil aviation has today. And the linkage between civil aviation and economic growth is very much well established. An ICAO study shows that air connectivity has an economic multiplier of 3.25 and an employment multiplier of 6.1 globally. That means for every $100 that we spend on air transport, 325 rupees in economic benefits get created. And for every 100 direct jobs that we create in aviation, 610 more jobs, indirect ones also get created in broader economy. And I understand from what I've seen in the last 1 year and especially studied the last 10 years, that the case of a country like India, the economic multiplier, which is on average of 6.1, is up to 15. So if you see 100 direct jobs getting created in aviation, in India you are seeing that 1500 jobs are getting indirectly created in the civil aviation. Estimates suggest that the global demand for air transport will grow at an average of 4.3% annually over the next 20 years, contributing 15.5 million direct jobs and $1.5 trillion in global GDP. And in 2017, about 2.5 lakh people were directly employed by airlines and airports collectively in the country. And by 2027, this is expected to double more, up to 5.17 lakh. When we account for the indirect and induced employment across the value chain, Indian civil aviation is projected to generate more than 8 million jobs by 2027. 8 million, 80 crore jobs in the country. And this is the kind of transformation aviation brings, not just in connectivity, but in livelihoods, opportunity, and inclusive growth. A small airport project spread across 500 acres can generate between 70,000 to 1 lakh jobs. Now just imagine the Navi Mumbai airport, which is spread across 3,000 acres. It has the potential to create 4 to 5 lakh jobs. And so as we envision Viksit Bharat by 2047, civil aviation will be one of its most dynamic pillars, creating millions of jobs in the country. And in this context, the western region stands tall, and they have gained tremendously by actively moving and pursuing the path of civil aviation. And I believe so much tourism potential has also been benefited because of this growth in civil aviation. Maharashtra offers a rich mix of heritage sites, spiritual destinations, along with business travel. Shri Airport is handling about 2,000 travelers daily. This is just an example. There are multiple airports. Moholji has just mentioned like 15 more airports are there in the state. And imagine the kind of people that are flowing in. And I'm very happy to see that whenever we come to Maharashtra, especially Mumbai, it just feels like home. It doesn't feel, it has the great opportunity and the great strength that it looks like the north and it looks like the south at the same point of time. And that is the charm of Maharashtra, and that is the charm of Mumbai. And it is the love and affection that the people also show here, that everyone, no matter if he is coming from Kanyakumari or if he is coming from Kashmir, everyone feels that he is at home in Mumbai and Maharashtra, which is a great boon for them. And Gujarat also attracts tourists to landmarks like the Statue of Unity, Gir National Park, and the Somnath Temple, and many more destinations. Madhya Pradesh, also a home for spiritual hubs such as Mahakal in Ujjain, Omkareshwar, along with the forest and heritage tourism like sites in Khajuraho and Bandhavgarh. Goa, you don't need to tell anything else. He has already explained it so beautifully, the tourism potential that is there, and it's also the crown jewel of international beach tourism. Union territories of Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu bring a unique blend of coastal charm and cultural heritage. The reason I'm mentioning all the states and union territories is because generally you feel that Maharashtra will dominate when we are here, or Madhya Pradesh will dominate because of the number of airports and the size of it. But from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, we want to ensure that the importance that we give to Maharashtra will be equal to the importance that we give to Goa, will be equal to the importance that we give to Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and all equally. We, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, we believe in cooperative federalism. And that can only be done when states and center move together collectively. And that is what we believe in. And that is what the NDA believes in. And that is why we are seeing that today the country is in its best position today in the world. Similarly, if you visit Dabolim Airport in Goa, you would see coastal charm and vibrant Goan culture reflecting through the artworks, music, and the local culture. And similarly, if you visit Pune, the airport proudly displays the legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Beyond tourism and connectivity, I see another strategic pillar for the western states, which is the MRO industry. And I have to put this forward, not only MRO, I'll be talking about many other advantages. The biggest advantage when you talk about civil aviation and this region has is because of the weather. Weather is a very important thing when it comes to civil aviation and the movement of the planes and having that kind of robust network. The position the western region in the country is as such that the weather is very proactive throughout the year for civil aviation, which is why having a robust MRO network is a great advantage for this region. Western region is already emerging as the MRO hub in the country. Today it contributes nearly 38 to 42% of India's total MRO revenues, amounting to a substantial 1500 to 1800 crores annually. And this is just the beginning. I believe the western region is set to dominate the MRO landscape in the coming years ahead. In Nagpur, we have India's most advanced wide-body MRO center operated by AIESL, capable of handling heavy maintenance for Boeing 747s and Airbus 320s and 330s. Nagpur is also involved in the engine overhauls with a growing portfolio of high-value international partnership with Rolls-Royce, GE, and other companies like Pratt & Whitney. Mumbai is also the nerve center of Indian civil aviation, continues to be the base for major airlines like Air India, Indigo, SpiceJet, Akasa, all of which rely on local facilities for both line and base maintenance. In Nasik, HAL has a remarkable leap. For the first time, it has entered the civil aviation space, bringing overhaul of the A320 family of aircraft. And Vadodara, hosting the Tata Airbus C295 aircraft assembly line, is expected to become full spectrum MRO hub for the aircraft as well. At Goa's Greenfield Mopa Airport, I see immense potential for developing a MRO ecosystem from the ground up. And I would also like to highlight Maharashtra's leadership in the MRO domain. The country's oldest and the most respected MRO players, AIESL, Airworks, Indamer, all trace their roots back to Mumbai and Maharashtra. Today, AIESL operates India's only wide-body hangars in Mumbai and Nagpur. Just from Maharashtra, AIESL is generating over 600 crore rupees annually and employing more than 2,400 skilled professionals. I am confident that the upcoming MRO facility in Bhopal also will further strengthen the region's capability in a very significant way. I would also like to encourage the other states that are there here to explore segments and especially structural modifications within their civil aviation departments and retrofit programs to encourage the advantage that they already have in this region. For example, the passenger to freight conversion, P2F conversions, requiring around 70,000 man-hours each, not only extend aircraft life cycles but also create substantial local employment. With Western India being a manufacturing and agri-export powerhouse, the demand for freighter conversion can find a natural base in many of the regions from Western India. And especially we from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, we want to drive the cargo network also. We have seen tremendous growth in passenger network and the passenger movement in the country, but we haven't seen the cargo network growing at that pace. We still feel there are some challenges. So we have different ideas that are flowing into strengthening our cargo ecosystem. And one idea which emulates from the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, where he has introduced the one district, one product scheme, where each district concentrates on one highlight product of that place. We are bringing it into civil aviation and we are saying one airport and one product. Where that airport, and we see that product which is there around that, it can be a pharmaceutical, it can be an agricultural product, a perishable product, it can be flowers that are grown there. So anything which can be exported through air cargo, let us find out that what product can be highlighted around that airport and create that ecosystem very specifically to enhance the cargo activity around that airport. So this is a policy that we are slightly building up right now, and we'll need the encouragement and we'll need the support of the states also in this. So this is one area we'll actively pursue with the states and building up the air cargo system in the country, where we feel there is a tremendous amount of potential that is still to be explored. And the central government has taken several concrete steps, just like how this cargo is there, in also increasing the number of aircraft fleet. And if you see, the Indian carriers are set to add 600 aircrafts to their fleet in the next 5 years. We have around 800 odd in the aircraft fleet right now for the country. We are adding 600 in the next 5 years, and we have demand already orders placed for 1700. So we are just waiting for all these planes. There are people who have ordered 1700 planes. So you can see that clearly there is a demand in the country that we need more planes. And I would also go ahead and say that India has the space to have 5 big aircraft operators in the country with at least 100 fleet in each one. Right now we have Indigo, which is grown very big and doing a very good job. Then we have Air India also, but we would see that there are 3 more airlines which are required so that ecosystem flourishes. There is a robust civil aviation network created, and all the tier 2 and tier 3 cities in the country are also properly connected. So we from the ministry are actively pursuing the idea of encouraging more people to come in and the airlines also to subsequently grow. And the central government has also taken concrete steps to position India as a global competitive MRO hub. We have allowed 100% FDI in MRO sector through the automatic route. Royalties previously charged on MRO services have been completely abolished. The tax structure has been simplified with the introduction of a uniform 5% GST on aircraft components. This has been a feedback from the MRO industry for a long time. We have listened to them and we have catered for it. The reform alone is estimated to save the airline industry up to 1,000 to 1,200 crore rupees annually. And I encourage the states also to be active participant in the western region in this MRO revolution. And another important one that I would like to talk about right now is where I see an immense opportunity again for the western region is the growth of FTOs, the flying training organizations. With Indian carriers placing record-breaking aircraft orders, like I said, around 1,700 planes. And each plane that comes in requires around 20 to 30 pilots to operate, to go through around those routes. And when you're talking about 1,700, it is touching around 20 to 30,000 pilots in the coming days. So how do you fill up this? Unless you have the necessary number of FTOs in the country which are generating pilots, training them and skilling them at that speed in which the aircraft fleet is coming. Otherwise, the whole opportunity that you're creating is getting catered by the international market. So we have to ensure that the FTOs also grow at that pace which can generate the pilots for the necessary demand that is created. And we have favorable meteorological conditions, like I've said. The temperature and wind patterns are optimal. And most importantly, over 300 days of good visibility. That is the strength of this western region, and that is what makes it the most suitable for FTO operations. Currently, out of the 37 FTOs that are operating in the country across 56 bases, 17 are located in this western region alone. Madhya Pradesh hosts around 11 of these FTOs, making it the leading producer of commercial pilots in the country. Why so? Because of the advantages that this region has. Maharashtra too is making very good advancements. I would especially like to congratulate Air India for taking advantage of the government's progressive FTO policies being led by the Honorable Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis ji to establish South Asia's largest FTO in Amaravati in our country. South Asia's largest. And I had the good fortune of launching it also along with the Honorable Chief Minister earlier this year. And I was pleased to inaugurate this facility. It is expected to be operational by the end of 2025, and with an investment of 400 crores, it is expected to generate an annual income of 100 crores for Amaravati and create more than 3,000 jobs in that region. We have taken some proactive steps in the ministry also to encourage the FTO ecosystem, liberalization of FTO policies, abolition of airport royalty for training operations, and rationalization of land rentals to make training economically viable. A performance-based ranking framework is also being introduced to ensure transparency, safety, and excellence in pilot training. The FTOs deal with the students who are coming and trying to learn. And you see the general education system, when you want to go to these universities, when you want to study in the best of the colleges and all, there is a rating every year that the student can choose which is the best college that is available, which is the best university that is available. And he goes after it, he applies for it, and he takes pride in getting admission into that. So we wanted to create a similar network in the FTO. Right now, there is no ranking system. The people are choosing according to their own conditions. If something is closer to home, or someone has suggested that आप यहाँ पे चले जाओ, यहाँ पे पढ़ने लगो, और उन्होंने बोल दिया कि नहीं ये अच्छा है, उधर चले जाओ. So it is just by the word that travels around. But today we have taken the FTO system and the network so seriously that we are going to rank them in the future. And we are going to put them accountable for all the things that happen in the FTO. So this is going to bring in a new revolution in the way we are looking at FTOs in the country. And to address this, we have specifically worked closely with our DGCA team to conceptualize a comprehensive scoring mechanism for the FTOs. This will assess multiple critical parameters. If there is anyone from the FTOs, please note all these points. This is going to be done very, very soon. Training placement assistance, instructor to aircraft ratio, fleet to AME ratio, total fleet size, average time taken to complete 200 flying hours, number of safety incidents reported. These are some things which we are starting with. We'll go more deeper also. Because I see a lot of people coming to me and saying that we want to start new FTOs. But this time, whenever we are starting new FTOs, don't consider the existing FTOs only. We want global standards to be set here. I am not only wanting to create this FTO so that the Indians only take advantage. I am looking at other countries also where people say that I have to go to India, I have to go to this FTO and I have to get trained there and then only I'll get my CPL license. So this is the kind of demand that we have to set. This is the kind of standards that we have to set in the country. They have to be of global standards now. So FTOs will now be rated based on measurable outcomes, promoting compliance-driven training ecosystem across the country. While it is encouraging that the number of CPLs issued by Indian FTOs has doubled in recent years, it is also a matter of concern, just like how I mentioned, 41% of CPLs are still being issued to cadets who are getting trained abroad. So you see how much we are losing out here? So 41% today are the pilots who are getting trained abroad only. Because they feel sometimes, it's not, you can't blame anyone on this, they still feel that some of the pilots who are getting CPL license abroad are of better global standards because the institutions are better global standards. So we have to improve the standards first. So this 41% recruitment becomes zero. Everyone who is getting trained here in India has to be employed first. The demand that you're creating here, you have so many FTOs that are there, so you have to directly pick up Indians and trainers who are getting done here. So that is the incentive that we are going to do in the future also. And while I say that we have to do FTOs, I think that states also should go with the standards that whoever they are inviting, whoever they are saying that are welcome to set up these FTOs, they never compromise on the standards. And I would also request the industry also, so whenever you are coming with the inception, the idea of setting up an FTO, that you go with the global standards as a prerogative. And if we are to achieve true Atmanirbharta in the skies, we must give a strong push to Train in India mission. Indian skies should be flown by Indian trained pilots. That is the objective we are keeping from the ministry and we'll strongly drive it. Not only will this strengthen our self-reliance movement, but it will also generate significant economic benefits around the FTO operations, fueling local employment, investment, and aviation infrastructure growth. I would encourage the Western states to position themselves as global hubs for pilot training, not only for India, but also for the world. And further, the one-on-one meetings that have been done today, a lot of issues have been mentioned. I've tried to take notice of them through our officers, and we are going to ensure that each and every issue, whether it is big or whether it is small, we are going to take it back to our ministry. We are going to put nodal persons in charge of each of the states so that they can interact on a daily basis if necessary, and they can cut continuous updates on what is happening with their issues at our level, so that the communication gets stronger and the follow-up also gets faster. So this is the approach that we want to follow from now on. We feel that aviation, even if it has a global outlook and now a national outlook, it needs a regional and a state outlook also right now. We are seeing Madhya Pradesh, who have actively, robustly come up with an aviation policy in terms of running their medical ambulances through air and also encouraging viability gap funding to cater for different routes and also creating MROs and FTOs in their state. So states are also now innovating in civil aviation and coming up with new policies and new ideas. So it is time that we strengthen this bonding between the state and center and take civil aviation to the much deeper grassroots level of this country. The idea of our Prime Minister is that हवाई चप्पल से हवाई जहाज का सफर. जब हवा में घूमते रहोगे तो फिर नीचे का दिखेगा नहीं. तो हमें जितना नीचे जाना है तो उतने नीचे से हम उनको लेके फिर हवाई जहाज के सफर में हम बिठा सकते हैं. तो उसी सोच के साथ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. And at this point, I would also like to announce another important two things in the coming days. One which is very, very close to me. I've been very passionately driving this, which is the Udan Yatri Cafe. We are seeing a lot of common people also now traveling through civil aviation. Lot of people from the lower backgrounds also traveling through civil aviation. Now, one important feedback that we have received, and I've also seen personally, is that when these people travel, they sometimes find the things that are available at the airport to be very expensive. And they are probably flying hungry. They're probably flying without eating anything. I felt very, very bad when this kind of situation happens. So we have decided from our ministry that every airport should have this Udan Yatri Cafe, just like how we are catering for the lower income people also to travel in civil aviation. At these airports, they should be comfortable. They should have the dignity to buy coffee, dignity to buy something and not go hungry in the airport. And we have started in Kolkata. When we completed 100 years of Kolkata airport, we have started a stall there. And we have kept one Udan Yatri cafe, which was a huge success. Even we couldn't anticipate that kind of success. We had 10 rupees tea, 10 rupees coffee, 20 rupees one local sweet or some local delicacy that is there. And every day the record number of sales, it was beating all the other places there. Let it be McDonald's or Pizza Hut, anything, it was beating everything. Then we thought this is a super hit model which is truly relevant to today's India's growth and today's India's civil aviation. Then we replicated it in Chennai. Then our Mohol ji was there कि हमें पुणे में चाहिए ही, तो हमने बोला कि वहाँ पे भी खोल लीजिए. अभी पुणे में हो गया, अहमदाबाद में हुआ और काफ़ी जगहों पे हो रहा है. और यहाँ पे मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ कि वेस्टर्न रीजन में इंदौर, गोवा एंड सूरत में अभी करेंगे. पुणे, अहमदाबाद मैंने बोला है, तो इंदौर, गोवा एंड सूरत आने वाले 1-2 महीने में वहाँ पे भी खोलेंगे. और ऐसे चलता रहेगा. हर एयरपोर्ट में हम चाहते हैं कि उड़ान यात्री कैफ़े एक पहचान बन जाए हमारे लिए, हमारे देश के लिए और हमारे देश के नागर विमानन के लिए. तो ज़रूर उसके आगे बढ़ेंगे. And Digi Yatra has been a very important innovation. Now how we are connecting technology to offer seamless connectivity in our airports. And we are operating Digi Yatra in 24 airports. People who are using it see the convenience of the advantage of Digi Yatra. And 6 of these 24 airports come in the western region. And 2 more airports, Surat and Bhopal, will be opening in the coming months with this Digi Yatra network. So there are a lot of innovative things also, exciting things also happening in the future for civil aviation. And as I conclude, I would like to reiterate the core message of my address, which is airports are not just infrastructure projects. They are the gateways for opportunity, runways to regional prosperity, and engines of national transformation. From the industrial strength of Maharashtra and Gujarat to the cultural richness and tourism appeal of Goa, the strategic coastal advantage of Daman and Diu, and the untapped aviation potential of Madhya Pradesh, this region embodies the diversity and capability which is very much needed to power India's rise as a global aviation leader. As our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has rightly said, India is not just a market, we are a full spectrum aviation partner to the whole world. And now it is time for the Western region to take lead in the national aviation transformation. Let us fly forward united, ambitious and unstoppable. And before I conclude, I would also like to call for a good participation from the northern region, western region in the upcoming Wings India 2026, which is going to happen in the January of 2026 at Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. Wings India has been a special platform for the civil aviation of the country, where we showcase not only the strengths of the country, but we bring in people and stakeholders of the aviation community from across the world and collectively offer a platform so that we can all go forward using our collective energies. So once again, I would like to invite you all of them for that event, and thank you for participating here. And my special thanks to Honorable Chief Minister, who has been very kind to grace this event. And he also has such a grand vision when it comes to civil aviation. And I've seen, especially in this last 1 year, when he was driving this Vadhavan airport also. Vadhavan airport is such a project where we have to build it in the sea. It was never imagined in the country only before. And when you ask someone, they will say that nahi, ye to nahi hoga, hame land chahiye, land mein hi banayenge hum airport. But this is a man who doesn't understand the word impossible. He probably listens as it's possible. So Vadhavan airport, when a lot of people said that it's not possible, he said nahi, hum to karke hi rakhenge. हम दिखाएंगे देश दुनिया को कि मुंबई हमारे ये महाराष्ट्र ये शहर कर सकता है. And definitely from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, we are offering you full support in that project and every other project which the state has taken up, and all the other states also. Every state is very, very important for us. And I come from a state of Andhra Pradesh, and my leader, Honorable Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu, even if our party is regional, we have a national outlook. We respect the country, we respect the idea of India, and we respect each and every state and the issues they have, when we all believe in moving collectively forward. So once again, I take this platform and this opportunity given to me to thank each and everyone who is working so passionately in the aviation sector. Today, we need the collective energies of all of us. We see that there are ups and downs also in aviation, but it is time when we all come together in those downs also that we can really achieve the altitude that we nearly want to achieve in civil aviation. So thank you very much, each and everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.